Happy birthday, Barfi. I love you. Mm. Okay. So Mimi and her two sisters actually turned up at our, complex gate when they were 3 months old. So and then we would all feed them, and they were our community dogs. They lived by the gate, and all three of them fell pregnant in their first heat cycle. All of them were, I think, 8 or 9 months old, and all of them gave birth in the same week. And I actually happened to pass by coming home from work, so it was raining and she was crying, and I stopped and I helped her with the birth, and he was the last one to come out. One day again, I was coming back home. This is about 2 months after his birthday, and I found him outside the main gate on the road, by the side of the road near a garbage dump kind of thing. And I stopped by and I saw him, and I thought he was dead because he was not moving. I couldn't visibly see any breathing at all. And so I was like, oh, that poor runt, he died. And he was covered in these really large red ants. So he really looked dead because he was covered in red ants. So I thought, okay, you know what, I'll just bury him at least. So I started digging a little hole on the side of the road, and I took, because he had so many ants on him, I took a couple of leaves and I held his paws and I pulled him and I put him into that little ditch that I had dug for him. And then he opened his eyes and I freaked out, and I was like, oh my God, I was going to bury a live puppy. And then I got rid of all the ants from him and I picked him up and I took him home. That's how it happened. You can imagine what I was feeling. I was about to bury a live puppy. So I was like, oh my God. It was a little bit of guilt. It was a little bit of worry, because I was like, why is this puppy not moving when I'm doing, and with all these ants on him? So I needed to clean him up and all of that. I had no food at home because obviously I had no dog for 30 days at home. So the first thing he got was a raw meaty bone because that's all I had at home. And he was quite happy to have a bath. So I have a picture. His first picture is immediately post me cleaning him up and his first little sponge bath, because I had consults the next day. And I was doing my consults in Koramanga at the time, and there was nobody at home. And so I had to take this puppy with me. And my first client walks in, and her name is Rajlakshmi, and she's a dear friend now. But I am like, I am really sorry. Is your dog friendly with puppies? And she's like, yes. My client, who I'm meeting for the first time, actually says to me, I have a driver and I have a car, and let's finish the consult. I'm going to take the puppy. I'm going to do the wet run for you while you finish up your consults. And when you're done, I'll bring the puppy back. So actually, Barfi's first wet run was done by a client of mine. So I kept thinking he was sick, which he was. He had a ear infection, chest infection, eye infection, and his chest was congested, and he was running a fever. So he was not acting like a normal puppy, and he was not acting very enthusiastic about anything. And he was very scared, very scared, to the point of being frozen all the time. Coming days, I think one of the things that he liked the most is that he was in a warm space, and that he had a blanket to sleep with, and he was getting plenty of food because he ate like a endless pit. Lucky for him, I was able to read those signs really quickly, and I gave him all the space that he needed to say, okay, puppy, you take your time, and I will prove to you that I don't plan to hurt you. Of course, all this time I was thinking, 8-10 days of medication and you're going back to the gate with your mom. That was the plan. It failed miserably. So yeah, by the time his medications were over, I think everybody knew that he was staying, except me. I kept saying, I was like, okay, I agree that he's a skittish dog and he can't go back to the street, perhaps. Maybe I will try adoption. And I even interviewed a few people. I put up posts and I interviewed a couple of people. And of course, I kept rejecting everybody for some reason or the other. I'm a pathetic foster. One of the reasons why I don't do fosters is because I will just fail at them really miserably. I will not give away puppies that come home. I've realized this. So Mimi came home I think about 4 weeks after Barfi did, 4 or 5 weeks after Barfi did, I opened the door one day and she was outside my door. And I was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was used to feeding her. She knew me since she was a puppy. So I just opened the door and I gave her some food. But he never came out of the bedroom at this point. So, she didn't see him, but she came tentatively inside, sniffed the air a little bit. And he came to the door of our bedroom as well, actually, trying to look, because he would never come out of the bedroom if the main door was open. He was petrified of the outside world. So he did somehow come up to the door and tried to sniff and all of that. So she came inside, I think, the first visit and met him and then left of her own accord. But then after that, she kept turning up every day. And then it came to a point where every time I opened my door, she was outside the door. And she would run inside and then they would have a little bit of a play and then she'd take a nap on the sofa and all of that. So that went on for about 9 or 10 days till one day she refused to leave. I think she recognized him. He definitely recognized her because the first time she came home and she was sitting down, he went straight for her teeth to, I don't know, for milk or what. I don't know. It was just a reflex or a memory. I don't know. But that's what he did. And he bit her and she ran away. So his first year was one of the most difficult years, actually, because his first vaccination, which was a rabies vaccination, ended up giving him a severe reaction. And he broke out into really bad hives and skin infection, including his eyelids and lips, and it was everywhere. So kind of knew the cause because it happened within 10 minutes of the injection, but didn't know what was now triggering it, making it worse, and things like that. So there was a lot of trial and error. There was a lot of elimination in food, coming down to single ingredients, removing a lot of ingredients in 6-week cycles. It was just a lot. Worms in his stomach because his first visit to the doctors and we gave him the injection and he reacted, and we never did anything else like the deworming. Everything sort of went out of the window when he reacted to that. It was so hard for me to make him eat anything. He was extremely underweight and itching and bleeding everywhere. I was adamant that I was not going to get him. His immune system depended on immunosuppressants or antihistamines for that reason. I knew that I had to build on his immune system and get his body to fight this somehow. And on his first birthday, actually, he was completely rash-free for the first time. So that was my birthday gift to him. Hard work, but it was totally worth it. Once his skin started getting better, he actually started tasting and trying out different things then. And then I started finding out what his favorites were and what he really likes. And then I started experimenting with recipes and herbs and things like that. So yeah, I think his second year was fun for him because he had a lot of different varieties to eat. The home where he got adopted, and then there was another home we lived in for about 6 months before we came here. The bedroom. That was his safe place since the very first day he came home. It's safe to sleep in. It's safe because I wouldn't let other people in there. In this house, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So they sleep in the living room, which is where we are. It's a big open living space. And they sleep here all day. And 8 o'clock in the night, he wants to go out. So whether I have finished lunch or whether I've finished my dinner or not, whether I'm busy or not, whether I want to watch something on Netflix or not, does not matter. It's time to go to the bedroom. Do whatever you have to in the bedroom so that he can sleep. I have to be up at 5 because he has discovered the outdoors after coming here. And this is a dog that was homebound, never went out for walks, shivered like a dry leaf if you even opened the front door. Mimi went out for walks, but he thought it was super dangerous and cried the whole time that she was out. Howled, actually, most of the time while she was out on her walks. But since we've come here, 5 o'clock in the morning, it's like, mommy, the sun's out. Let's go. Get up. And all he wants to do is go outside. He wants to be outside in the garden all the time. So first thing in the morning, I am given precisely 45 seconds to go to the loo if I want to. and after that I have to come down and get them out into the garden, which is where they spend their first 25 minutes of the day sniffing and exploring the world while everywhere there's no people and it's quiet and there's no traffic noise and all of that. It's really nice actually in the mornings. I like that he's making me do this because we spend our first half an hour of the day with plants in very quiet surroundings. So that's fun. And then come back home and then they go back to sleep till 8, till I have to go to work. And then I go to work, they have breakfast and they go back to sleep again till I come back from work. Then they want to go out again and then sleep again. It's a really nice life. Now that I'm telling their routine, I'm like, oh, I want that routine. That would be so nice. But he has this cocked head look that to me says, what the fuck? That's just how it looks to me. So if I'm doing something like sing, or if I dance a little bit, or he sort of does this and looks at me like, what the fuck? One of the things that strikes me, the difference between Mimi and Barfi as dogs. Mimi has this deep sense of gratitude. Okay, she's slept on streets, she's been in the cold, she's battled the thunderstorms and the Diwali crackers, and there's this gratitude for sofas and soft surfaces and food, and there is something about her behavior that's like, I'm thankful to be here. Not Barfi. Barfi thinks this is his birthright. Okay, he doesn't know anything else other than luxury, and this is a classic difference. The brat who is born into the family versus the humble, sweet child that was adopted into the family. That's the difference between the two of them. Everything is his. I am his. His mother is also his. Everybody in the house and everything in the house belongs to him, and we all basically are there for him. That's it. So I'm not allowed to touch Mimi. Mimi is not allowed to get any affection from me. Mimi gets bitten if she gets too much affection. She gets pushed away. So everybody is there just to serve him. That's what he thinks. Oh, this is gonna make me cry. So I actually don't do very well with doggy birthdays because it just makes me feel terribly sad that one more year has gone by. And I don't look forward to them at all. So I never make a big deal out of it. I can't believe he's 3 and I don't know where 3 years have gone by, and my heart sinks a little bit that it's already 3 years. So I wish I could say he could have another 20 or 30. I wish he could. But I just want him to be healthy. As long as he's here,